Okay, so bass resampling is a really cool technique. It's been around for a long time. It's been used since the early 90s by producers in hardcore, techno, drum and bass, all that kind of music. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do that in Maschine right now. And just to give you a good example of what it sounds like, I'll play you the original bass line that I made just using a massive patch, just sequenced as we see the notes here. And then I'll play you the resampled version. Okay, so the original version sounds like this. Okay, so it's a pretty cool sound as it is. It's got quite a lot of movement going on, and that's going to be a really good bit of raw material to make our resampled bass. Okay, now this is the resampled bass that I made earlier. Okay, playing exactly the same notes, but it sounds a lot more interesting, it sounds a lot more solid, there's loads of really nice modulation going on. So I'll quickly show you how to recreate that kind of effect. So what I'll do first is just duplicate this scene, so that we keep the original. Okay, right click on the bass pattern, just so we can create something new to start from. Okay, and then on our original massive patch here, which I've called Scrapyard because that's the wavetable that it was based on, I'm just going to draw in one note, which is one bar long, in the root note of the track. Okay, and this track's in E. Okay, and I'll just make that one bar. Okay, now in order to resample that note, the next thing we need to do is export it as audio. And we do this simply by making sure that we've selected the pattern that we want to export, and then we just click on the quick export button here. Okay, then we go into the browser, and we should find that we've got a file here which relates to it. Okay, so pattern 22, Scrapyard. Okay, we'll just play that one. So we just drag that onto the next free slot in our bass group. I'll drag it on sound 9. Close the browser for now. So what we need to do first is just switch it into legato mode. Okay, like to give it a bit of glide as well. Then go into the pitch and envelope section, take it off one shot so we've got full control over the envelope. Switch it to ADSR mode, take the release right down. Okay, so it sounds cool, but it still sounds very much like the original sound. Now here's the interesting part. This is where we go in to set a loop point, which is where we get this really interesting new modulation. Now before we do that, I'm just going to truncate the sample, and I'm going to do that just by selecting just the audible section there and removing the silence. Okay, so just hit apply on truncate mode, and you can see that we've just got the sound on its own. Okay, then next I want to normalize it because the level's very low. Okay, so to add a loop point, we can go into zone mode here, turn on loop, and then we can move these two controllers here just to select the loop point. Okay. Okay, and it's all about just tweaking that until you find the sweet spot for the kind of sound that you want. Okay, and I think that sounds really nice. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is just add a couple of extra effects, and I usually add a phaser at this point to add some more movement. Keep it subtle though. Take all the controls down a little bit. Apart from the stereo, keep it nice and wide. Maybe add a bit of chorus just to make it wider. Again, keep it very subtle. And then perhaps just add a little bit more distortion or possibly some saturation just at the end of the chain. Okay, so we got an absolutely huge sounding bass there. Okay, so just to remind you, we started off with this sound, and now we have. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just delete the original note, and then extend the length of the pattern to 4 bars. Maybe switch this to tube mode just to get some more bass. Yeah, that's a much nicer saturation effect, actually. Okay, so I'll just try and jam out some kind of bass line using that. Okay, that's a nice start. I'm just going to shorten this note and copy it across. Maybe leave a little gap there. Quantize the rest. Okay, and let's have a listen to that. And maybe just to fill in that space there, I'll just add a quick note on this other bass. Okay, and then what we can do next is we can go in and we can tweak this pitch bend data. But for now, I'll leave it at that. And if you want to find out how I made the rest of the track and all of the drums and all the other bass sounds and everything else, including the original massive patches, then you can sign up to the course at producertech.com. Okay, thanks for watching.